Yo, what's good guys, but I'm Fire here back from a video, and today we're going to be bringing you guys another defense I like to run in Madden 22. This is going to be one of those nice bluff blitz coverages that you can kind of package together with one of the best blitzes in the game, which I have a lot of videos on. Of course, we'll talk about that a little bit later, but we're going to be in the big time 2-3-6. You could also kind of run this out of the 1-4-6. Might actually go with the 1-4-6. I'm not sure. Probably the 1-4-6. I feel like that's a little bit more used, but you can actually run it out of 2-3-6 will and 1-4-6. They both have these cover 4 drops, which you can't see this one, so we'll move up. But cover 4 drop there. You go to 1-4-6. There's a cover 4 drop in the middle, so you can really run either one. I'm not going to force you. They're pretty much the same, almost the same in a lot of ways. I think I made more videos on the 1-4-6, so that's probably the one we'll talk about. But again, doesn't make too big of a difference. We are in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defensive playbook for today's video. That's a playbook that has, you know, big dime 2-3-6 will, big dime 1-4-6, and of course has, you know, a lot of good formations like 2-4-5 odd, 3-3-5 wide, of course. But yeah, cover 4 drop. We're not gonna set any of our zone drops for today. But yeah, let's get straight into it. Alright, so I actually ended up deciding to do the big dime 2-3-6 will play. Again, these don't really make a difference, but we just decided to go with this one because I already had my audible set for it. You see, if we audible the 1-4-6, it's pretty much the same thing. This guy moves in a little, this guy hovers on the line, but you know, pretty much the same thing between these two formations as far as it's concerned. Now, taking a look at our player, we have a basic cover 4. This is not going to be a cover 4 match. You notice that we have the curl flat zone, so it's going to be a standard cover 4. You're not going to have any safeties matching on different things. You're just going to have 4 deep zones. You're not going to really be able to, you're not going to really give up anything too deep. Cover 4 beaters are definitely not the easiest this year, but we'll just show it standard against some plays. Now, when you're running cover 4 drop, and again, I have these curl flats at stock yardage, you're going to have to give up something. I like the way that these play just because they seem to lurk a little bit more when you don't have them set at a certain zone drop. They are able to kind of defend 2 routes at the same time, I feel like, a little bit more when you do that. But you'll give up certain small things like maybe drag routes, like maybe quick out routes, but generally giving up deep routes, it's not going to be it. These curl flats do a pretty good job at defending that. You see, you could maybe throw that drag, pick up 5 yards, but in that case, you're playing pretty good defense anyway with your bend but don't break style. Now, the weakness of this cover 4 is going to be getting pressure. You're only going to rush 3, and we don't really have any set variations of this play where we are going to rush 4 people. We will generally just rush 3 for every single down. Now, that's going to be good because you consider the fact, once again, that you can combine it with some of these other blitzes that we've talked about. Really, it's not going to be that bad, and your opponent, if in Ultimate Team, the sheds are crazy anyway, a lot crazier than regs, so you'll have players sheds anyway. The way that defensive tackles and defensive ends split double teams in this game, you will have no problems at all rushing 3, trust me on that one. Now, some extra things you can do. The first thing I kind of like to do is just base align. This isn't really going to adjust the way that any of your players are seen on the field other than move them in a couple of steps, but I like base aligning. Just resets the defense, creates a nice firm look on every single play, no matter what offensive formation they're in. Now, the next thing I kind of like to do is move these guys in. Now, of course, for the blitz, and I'm mainly talking about the DB Fire 2 blitz. I like to, you're going to bring both these corners up generally to run the blitz. So we have both these corners in this position. Now, just taking a look from the offensive perspective, if you're an offensive player, you know, what are you kind of thinking when you see this look? Because I think I'm glitched here. I can't change players, so for some reason the defensive thing is glitched on the right. I can't close it. I can't do anything. Practice mode is so scuffed. But if you're an offensive player, I'm probably expecting one of these 2 guys to come in, if not both. So that's going to probably lead me to block my running back and slide my offensive line to the right. Probably that's what I would do. And then maybe I ID this guy. I don't know. But that's generally going to block the blitz. And you see, really, if you're running this cover 4 drop and you're able to get your opponent to block his running back, you've already kind of won. That's going to make your job easier. And when you have 8 in coverage, you see we get quick pressure there against a superstar left tackle. Really, when you get that good of coverage, you pretty much have already won. You've already beat your opponent if you get him to only send out 4 pass catching threats, if that makes any sense. So just look at it from there. You'll know that your pressure is working. Another thing I've done is kind of show blitz. I know some people don't like to do this with the press look, but you could show blitz if you wanted, just to give you another look at it. That also gives a man coverage look, so you can kind of bluff the man coverage, maybe bluff a man blitz. But once again, for our first setup, we're just kind of moving these guys in and running our base coverage like this. So again, we'll snap the ball, just running basic plays, but still able to defend most of the stuff, and we get the interception right there. So again, just a basic coverage, not much that goes into a stock cover 4. Of course, we're not adjusting a lot, but I've noticed a lot of these stock coverages are actually pretty good this year. I know we like to adjust a lot on this channel, but sometimes just running a stock coverage can throw off your opponent. He's thinking so much about how to beat your integral adjustments, and you throw out a basic cover 3, and I can even stump him sometimes, weirdly enough. Now, hopping into our first way to adjust out of this, my first way was to create a non-matching cover 6 defense. So we were going to throw the Clyde flat out there. We're going to throw Justin Simmons here in a deep half zone. And of course, you're just going to have a basic cover 2 on this left side. Now make sure that when you do this, you run it on the short side of the field. You're going to run it on the short side of the field so that this guy does not get beat to the outside, and Justin Simmons does not have to cover an entire baseball field, entire center field. He only has to cover left field over here. Now, as far as Jordan Fuller, you can actually maybe blitz him if you wanted. We'll try out the blitz, see if this blitz just randomly works. Right here, again, I mentioned that we weren't really going to rush it, and again, it doesn't really get through, but if you wanted to rush a 4th guy, you could most certainly rush him. As far as some of the other things that we can do with our boy right here, Kyle Fuller, we can, of course, we showed the blitz. The next thing that you could maybe do is you can put him in a, you can man him up on somebody, so I can man him up probably out of here. Again, spread, I'm just manning him up on the running back. I don't want him throwing running back routes all game. It's the most annoying thing in this game is defending the running back route, and it's most people's first read. So a lot of times if they see the running back manned up, they might just go away from that kind of a thing, that kind of an out route, in route, whatever. So manning up the running back will make your life a lot easier. You won't have to worry about maybe double mabling the side of the running back. You can just basically man him up, and obviously you would hope for better coverage than that, which generally you would have better coverage, I would guess. But again, you can see the weakness. If the pressure is really not getting there, which in Ultimate Team, nobody will ever have that much time. I've gone against too many 3-man rushes this year to know that you will never have that much time against a 3-man rush in the pocket. I'm sure a lot of you can relate to that. So against 3-man rushes, you're going to get better sheds than we're getting in practice mode. Just trust me on that. Again, if you want to send the 4th guy, you certainly can. It's a slot corner, so that might just create another one-on-one for one of your guys, but slot corner is not really going to get pressure. Now, make sure that you also have safeties at linebacker. I didn't mention that, but that should be a given at this point in the year that we are in. Having safeties at linebacker is you need safeties at linebacker. You need these guys to jump and make plays for you. Now, the next thing we can do with him is we can go ahead, put this guy in what we call, let's actually try the bluff blitz. The bluff blitz, probably not too good. He's going to go in a curl flat zone, so we'll go with like a little vert hook. And you see, for whatever reason, whenever you put someone in a bluff blitz, you get this glitched play art, which I can't get rid of, but he's in a vert hook. You can kind of see that there. So we have a vert hook now. Now, vert hook is going to just make my job easier. You see how the vert hook actually matches onto the streak? Weirdly enough, sometimes these vert hooks will do different things, and sometimes that can take away the seam streak that everybody likes to throw in this game, and that can definitely be good. This will turn into a true cover 6 with your complete cover 2 on the left with the vert hook, and then of course your basic cover 4 drop on the right, so maybe a cover 6 drop, whatever you want to call it. But this is what the coverage looks like. Again, let's go with just a new play, PA read, just to get something new out there. You see the vert hook, it does a decent job. Of course, we have certain things that we have to cover. Maybe that flat's open, so if I see the flat open, and let's say the running back's not going there because we've already gone over the man-up adjustment with the running back, then maybe we throw him in a hard flat zone. So now we have a cloud flat, we have a hard flat. Kind of looks weird on the player, but again, you saw with that PA replay, which we'll run it again here. Now we have everybody defended. I can lurk over on A. B, if they try to go deep, Justin Simmons is really always there to make a play, which I just wasn't, that was a bad user there, but yeah, man, pretty good coverage with there. Now, another thing that you can do if you want a little bit more of aggressive zone, I know some people like to do this, is they like to go with X in a soft squat zone. Now, interesting enough, you could actually run, if you're going with a soft squat, again, it's going to be very aggressive. You can actually follow post routes all the way down the field unless there's another zone in the area. So, for instance, I don't know if we have any kind of a deep post. We don't really have one in our setup. But if there were a deep post with Robert Woods over there, maybe we... I don't know if I can get it. I don't think I can unless I audible formations, but the soft squat would actually follow him over. So this would not be a bad coverage to actually leave your slot corner on a curl flat and then put the soft squat over there. The soft squat's going to be able to jump some things. So we'll just try it out again. And with your user, you can of course use either of these guys, Jackson, Kareem Jackson, or Johnson there. But we'll try out the coverage, and you see the soft squat following like a comeback route all the way down the field. The curl flat again does a decent job at defending things in that crosser range. It won't really defend drags well, but mainly if there's nothing else in the area, it will be able to bite down on a drag and make a play on it. But you see the soft squat, that's a decent, very good coverage to run. The soft squat will also probably do a better job of taking away the outside, I would assume, than a cloud flat. But beware of the soft squat, because I believe if I throw something like this out just for kicks and giggles with the soft squat zone, I believe you will see Patrick Surtain over there. Is that Surtain? That's Bryce Callahan. So Bryce Callahan, you'll see Bryce Callahan kind of fall down. So that's where the soft squat creates an issue. If they have anything go into the flats, the soft squats leave their assignment immediately and go run to it, which is why some of those cover 6 beaters can actually be really effective using like swing routes or out routes, things like that. That's another conversation for another day, but that's going to be just, a lot of the ways that you can run it. As far as some of the other things, maybe let's switch formations. Let's go to a gun bunch formation, which is what everybody runs. Gun bunch. Now you're in 2-3-6, so it's going to be symmetrical, so auto flip's not going to affect the play. The way the bunch isn't going to affect it. Again, I like to have my defense base aligned. And if I'm running this, what I can actually do is go ahead and run a style of coverage where maybe I man up both the running back and the tight end. So we go with a cover 2 on the left, which was actually our first setup. The cover 2 on the left, I didn't get Simmons in his deep half, but here's your basic coverage on the left. You man up the running back, and then who else do they like to throw to? Now, not as much because the delay fades aren't as good, but still, tight end and the running back are the 2 usual first reads in this game. It's been like that in Madden forever. Again, we can create our bluff blitz look, move Kyle Fuller in, we move Ronald Darby in. We can like hover over here with the user. But now we have 2 people manned up. We have our traditional cover 4 drop on the right. We still have our cover 2 on the left. I can still go soft squat in this instance if I want, but I don't want a situation where I go soft squat and then we have 2 people defending, a running back on a swing route. So I would usually go cloud flat here. And of course, we have the user. We have our middle of the field by ourselves, but we can kind of really key in on one route here. Generally, it'll usually be the running back and another receiver on the high-low read in the middle of the field. You usually won't see 2 wide receivers running in the middle of the field. It'll usually be 1 wide receiver on the outside. Of course, your solo side receiver kind of doing whatever he wants, usually just on a clear out or C route. He's never really going to break to the middle of the field unless it's bunch trail, which you have deep zones to defend that. But we'll show that setup again just to give you an idea. We always want to create game type situations with these particular plays. So again, we'll base align. One of the more popular setups, again, delay fade's not as good, so this setup's not as used anymore, but just a basic setup is going to be like this. And I do believe you'd have a lot of success just running your defense like this. You man everybody up, then we can take RB. Now, of course, maybe you can throw this running back route. We're able to make a tackle. It's a 3-4 yard gain at the most, but of course, you probably have more athletic guys out there that can make better coverage than that. But pretty much you guys get the gist. It's a bend but don't break style of defense. You shouldn't really give up too many big plays in this defense. The majority, you're going to kind of force your opponent to dink and dunk. Of course, the run defense is a little bit iffy in this. It's not going to be the best out of a big dime 2-3-6 or a 1-4-6. So I would recommend maybe going in practice mode, trying to practice shooting these gaps. There's certain ways to do them. I still have to lab those even probably a little bit more myself, but kind of practice running the ball, and you see just a basic run there. We're able to kind of stop it, but the offensive lineman picked us up, so we still probably want to lab how to shoot that without giving the offensive lineman an opportunity to block us. But that's going to do it for the video. If you enjoyed, drop a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel down below, and peace. I'm out of here.